Good morning. Good morning to you, Olga, although we've not met. I had your email. Good morning, Stuart, and whoever else is on this call today. I'm very sorry I can't join you. I'll be in Valencia when you're having this meeting. Welcome to MMU, welcome to Manchester. We weren't exactly sure what would help for you to hear from us today, so I've asked two of my colleagues just to explain a couple of things about Manchester and about the entrepreneurship in our city that we're joining in with through our programmes at the Centre for Enterprise. The first speaker is Bill Greenhalgh. He's actually, very interestingly, doing a project across Europe, thanks to the European Commission, Department of Enterprise, looking at high-growth clusters and how to internationalise clusters. He'll set the context for Manchester. The next speaker is Dr. Claire Schofield. She's Deputy Director of the Centre for Enterprise, and we're a groundbreaking centre that's bringing new growth to small firms right across the region. I hope you have a great session today, and I look forward to meeting you in person, or at least by telephone next time. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Bill Greenhalgh, Enterprise Fellow at Manchester Metropolitan University Business School. I work in the Centre for Enterprise, and I'm a specialist on cluster development. What I want to do over the next few minutes is to give you an overview of the Manchester City region. What I want to start with doing is to just give you a few facts and figures about the Manchester City region, to give you a flavour of the size of the region and the key assets that we have. Manchester City region is actually two cities, Manchester and Salford, which are linked together very closely and have developed together. They are surrounded by 8 towns, which creates 10 local authorities. Unlike many other regions in Europe, there is no regional authority. We have no regional government or anyone acting specifically at regional level. But the local authorities work very closely together through the Association of Greater Manchester Authorities, and each of them takes responsibility for specific actions on behalf of all the others. The GVA that the region produces is around 52 billion euros. We have 4 universities, and we're very close to the Peak District National Park. This is a very complex map, a diagram of the evolution of the Manchester City region and its surrounding regions, which create the larger region of North West England. And it shows that we have a long history of economic development. Like all regions in Europe, our economic history starts with our natural assets. I talked about the climate. It rains quite often here. But that was useful to our early development, and it enabled us to adopt water power and provided a good environment to process cotton. And so we became a region noted for its skills in creating goods from cotton. We also have other assets, including salt, which form the basis of chemical production in the region. The diagram shows that we started early. We were a leading region in the Industrial Revolution in England, and so our economic history starts really industrially in around 1750. And because we industrialised early, we developed factories and urban areas very early on. And this both enabled new services in terms of food production, in terms of education, in terms of energy, in terms of water supply. So we were pioneers in those technologies in order to do that. It also produced problems, both social problems and also environmental problems. And again, we've developed expertise in our region in order to overcome these difficulties. And these have all shaped the industries that we have today. If you're familiar with the concept of cluster development, you will be aware that clusters evolve over time, and generally the clusters that you have today in an area are based on what you had previously. But occasionally things can from outside the region, which you have no influence over, can affect that. And in the northwest, you can see that in terms of aircraft production in World War II, that was a lot of emphasis was placed on that in our region, based on what we had, but in order to provide the response for the war effort in the 1940s. But that produces the industries that we have today, and you can see in the diagram just the wide range of industries that we have in the Manchester City region. We're quite proud in Manchester of the fact that we have been first in a number of areas, not in everything, but there are a number of achievements that have taken place in this region. I spoke earlier on about our earlier industrialisation and our adoption of the factory system. The first cotton mill in Manchester opened as long ago as 1780. Developing industries and factories and moving to mass production meant that we needed to be pioneers in transport as well. And the first passenger railway station in the world opened in Manchester in 1830 and still exists today as part of our Museum of Science and Industry. Later on, we developed the Manchester Ship Canal, which enabled us to bring ocean-going ships of around about 12,000 tonnes directly to Manchester. And at the end of that canal, we created the first industrial estate in the world. Trafford Park was the location of the first car plant in Europe, opened by the Ford Motor Company, making their Model T Fords back in 1911. We also have pioneers in science and technology. Ernest Rutherford split the atom, carrying out research which forms the basis of the modern nuclear industry, both nuclear power and nuclear chemistry, and that occurred at Manchester University in 1917. We were pioneers in computer science. The first programmable computer was built by scientists at Manchester University in 1948. And alongside that, we had early pioneers in the development of computer programs and computer science. Alan Turing, one of the well-known pioneers in that, also worked at the University of Manchester at the same time that they were developing the baby. This emphasis on science and technology continues today into the 21st century, and in 2003 the material graphene, which is a form of carbon which is only one atom thick, was also developed by scientists at the University of Manchester. I said earlier on that we have 4 universities in the Manchester City region. We have our own university, Manchester Metropolitan University, which has its beginnings back in the 19th century from the Manchester Mechanics Institute and the Manchester School of Design. This means we have a different starting point to some of the earlier universities in the UK, which came out of religious studies and from the work in the cathedral towns, particularly Oxford and Cambridge. Ours were very much founded by people from industry, and that's meant that we've always had a strong link with industry and with businesses in our region. Our sister university in Manchester, Manchester University, has its origins at about the same time. They achieved university status in 1880, and they were enlarged by merger with the University of Manchester Institute of Science and Technology, which had spun out from the main university some time ago. They merged in 2004 to create the modern university, which has nearly 40,000 students and is the largest in the UK. The 2 other universities in Manchester, in the Manchester City region, are Salford University, based in the other twin city to Manchester. This also has its origins in industry, from 2 local colleges that were set up again back in the 19th century. The newest addition to this is Bolton University, which again has its origins in the industry of the 19th century, strongly supported by local industrialists who saw the benefits of educating their workers and supporting further education. When looking at the industrial development of the Manchester City region, it's important to also consider the social and political aspects of this, and the interaction that we have with people from other countries, particularly other parts, not only other parts of Europe, but further afield from other parts of the world that the UK has been associated with for many years. As long ago as the 14th century, Flemish weavers came over from Flanders, bringing their skills in weaving, and that eventually led to the basis of the cotton industry that dominated our economy for a long time. As I said, we urbanised and created factories very early on, which presented social and social challenges, which we developed the means to overcome, and that has led to the industrial base, the educational base, and so on that we have today. Manchester has always been associated with free trade and liberal views, and in the 19th century there was a so-called Manchester School which represented these opinions. There were lots of demonstrations and lots of a number of people who expressed these views very strongly. We were the basis for the cooperative movement that started in 1840 in Rochdale, which is one of the towns in the Manchester City region. And in the 19th century, a phrase was developed, which we think still applies today. What Manchester does today, the rest of the world does tomorrow. The final slide just gives you my contact details. If you have any questions, please contact me by email or by phone, and I'll do my best to answer those questions. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.
Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Claire Schofield and I'm the Deputy Director of the Centre for Enterprise. We've been in operation for about 12 years and we're led by Professor Lynn Martin, the Director of the Centre. I'm going to introduce you today to the work of the Centre for Enterprise, what we do, who we work with, and why we think we're very successful at working with businesses, helping them develop their leadership, helping them grow, helping them to become more sustainable, helping them to become more entrepreneurial. So the Centre for Enterprise is the business heart of the faculty and the business school. We lead on developing enterprise and entrepreneurship capabilities, and we do this with a core and associate team of about 40 people. We deliver a range of research projects, we deliver some consultancy and a suite of innovative programmes. We have an alumni of in excess of 600 SMEs that we've worked with and forged deep and long-lasting relationships with for the last 12 years. We focus on SMEs primarily, although we're increasingly working with some larger organisations, and I'll talk about those a little bit on later slides. Our focus primarily is growth, leadership and enterprise. We also cover sustainability with some of our clients. In terms of entrepreneurial learning, we have a range of clients that we work with. In particular, we work with our students. In my role as the university's enterprise champion, we've provided an entrepreneurship education to over 2,000 students. We run a range of innovative programmes which we've designed ourselves and are exemplars of practice. So we run an enterprise academy, we run a programme called New Directions, we run programmes specifically to help our students develop business and engagement skills, and we run programmes that help students generate new ideas. In terms of startup, the team of the Centre for Enterprise has helped start up in excess of 70 businesses, and we track those over time, and we're keen for those to be sustainable businesses. We also provide bespoke coaching and specialist courses. In terms of staff, we're very keen to work to build their capacity to be enterprise ready and to grow our network of individuals in the faculty to help us do more of the work that we do, helping the region and the UK to grow. We have a number of strengths at the Centre for Enterprise that we're very proud of, and we focus a lot of our effort into improving those to help the businesses and the individuals we work with. Clearly one of our strengths is directly supporting business and entrepreneurs of all shapes and sizes and sectors. What's really important to us and one of our values is delivering results. So we're at the cutting edge of generating new knowledge through our research, but also using that to help businesses deliver the results that they need to achieve. We do that through developing innovative pedagogy. So we work very hard with a team of innovative practitioners to develop new tools and techniques to help businesses use the knowledge directly in their business to help them to either grow, to become more innovative, developing new products and services, or just new business practices, or to help them access new markets or improve their own leadership. And this is becoming the go-to people for new thinking and new ideas in this area. Through that work and the relationships we build with businesses over a long period of time, we've developed a deep understanding of the needs of businesses through the whole journey from start-up or even pre-start-up right the way through to growth, and to helping businesses access finance, to exit and maybe start a new business or pass that business on to a new generation. Through the support that we deliver for business and entrepreneurs, we provide academic leadership in changing times. We've operated through our 12 years through economic strength, and at the moment through economic austerity. And through that we've become go-to practitioners in our core areas. We work really hard to develop relationships with strategic partners. For example, we have particular strengths in financial professional services, working with our law partners, but also with accountancy practices, with creative practitioners, science and technology. We're able and have a track record of developing bespoke curriculum for those, working with them innovatively and entrepreneurially to develop curriculum that meets their specific needs. We've often been asked to design online diagnostic tools, and we use these to develop materials that can be used in blended learning, but can also help businesses and individuals to track their development over time, which we find extremely useful. One of the things we're focusing on quite strongly at the moment is building our strategic partnerships. We're using these to commercialise and enrich our programmes, but to also increase our reach within the region and nationally. We have a fantastic advisory board of 6 key entrepreneurs and business professionals that help us as a centre to ensure our work is usable, is applicable, and is new and has access to the markets that we want to reach. One of our flagship programmes in the Centre for Enterprise, and one we're really proud of, is the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Programme. I'm the academic director, and I work directly with a small team of experts within the Centre for Enterprise that deliver this amazing programme. We've actively recruited 4 cohorts, and we're in the process of recruiting our 5th group of 30 businesses to help them grow and reach their growth potential. We also work with other large organisations. For example, Professor Lynn Martin is working with Marks & Spencer's to evaluate their Plan A, and we've worked for a number of years with Groundwork UK. These are just a small example of the work and the partners that we have, but we're looking to lead development within specific sectors to help them to grow, and these may be aligned to regional priorities, national priorities, and increasingly international priorities. We're really keen to shape regional and national policy, and Lynn Martin has spent a lot of time working with the national government to help them develop their policies and practices to ensure that they meet the needs of small and medium-sized enterprises. We also have some fantastic links internationally with India, China and Europe, and those are partnerships we're very much keen to develop in the future. So from experience, what works? We find creating and sharing knowledge to multiple audiences one of our strengths, and through that work it's enabled us to understand the multiple business drivers that affect sectors as varied as creative and digital, sustainable businesses, international businesses, logistics, the whole range. We bring our experience of being entrepreneurial and enterprise to the fore to help businesses, and we value the partnerships we have with knowledge experts. Because we've got such a broad spectrum of professionals that we work with, we're able to bring those in to work with us as an academic team to bring knowledge to life and make it applicable to the businesses we work with. We're also proud of the fact that we're very much a together team, a very multidisciplinary team of individuals who work together, sometimes as a whole team, sometimes as small sub-teams, to develop new ideas and bring them to the marketplace to work and help the region and the nation. Our focus very much is on building capacity internally within the business school, but also externally. We have many ways that we engage with business, and of course we use a full range of social media. So we have a website that we keep up to date, and lots of businesses increasingly are finding us by just searching for our key strengths. So businesses will just Google growth and they'll find us and contact us, and we'll help them to find a programme that can help them achieve their aims and ambitions. We blog, so we keep in touch with sector experts, with key researchers, and just the work that we do ourselves. It's interesting, and we frequently update that blog. We're also keen Twitterers, and so you can follow us at our Twitter feed, and we often do activities that are quite innovative to just bring people in to talk to us about the work that we're doing. So one of the fun things we do is Tea with the Prof. So you can come along and we'll unpick an area of the research and encourage businesses or partners to think and interact with this new knowledge to help them improve the work that they're doing and help us gain a deeper understanding of our partners.